There's nothing like the sound of Carolina hoofbeats.
Summer is in full swing. We've had tons of rain, and everywhere you look, there's mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are a huge problem for horse owners because of a disease called equine encephalitis. Like a lot of you, I wasn't really sure about this disease. I know it's serious, but I didn't really know how to tell when to worry if my horse got bit by a mosquito because they get bit all the time. So we went over to the North Carolina State University Veterinary School of Medicine, and we talked to an equine encephalitis specialist, Dr. Sheets. So stay tuned. Right after the break, we're going to learn more about this serious disease and how to prevent it.
Hi, my name's Paul Dunn. I'm from Mule City Feeds here in Benson. I'm a member of the Benson Area Chamber of Commerce, and these are my mules. We want to invite you to come to Benson Mule Days in September. It'll be the 4th weekend, and starting on Thursday, we're going to have a concert. It's free. Please come and see that. On Friday, we'll have the mule events. And it's just like a horse show. You come, you bring your mules, you come sit in the stand, see what happens. The most fun thing that happens all day long is the mule race. We actually have people that are proud enough to go after riding mules, and after that we have a pull. Also on Friday we have rodeo and street dance, and there are all kinds of things going on at the Grove downtown. It's just like being at the state fair. On Saturday, it's really a great event where we have a parade like none other in the state of North Carolina. It's just like any parade for about an hour and a half. You get to see all the beauty queens and bands, and then after that there's about 2,000 horse and rider and wagons, and that's one of the biggest events in North Carolina. Saturday afternoon we have a bluegrass show, and Saturday evening we have more rodeos and street dances, and there's plenty of carnival rides for the kids. On Sunday we finish up with a rodeo and more carnival rides. Look forward to seeing you. Come on down to Mule Day this September.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Blitzlager here at the vet school in North Carolina, and I'm here talking with one of my colleagues, Dr. Katie Sheets, who is a medicine specialist. And in particular, we wanted to talk about encephalitis in horses. So Katie, we've heard to some extent in the news about Eastern Equine Encephalitis, or EEE. What does that really mean? What does that mean the horses have?
Eastern Equine Encephalitis is a disease caused by infection with the Eastern Equine Encephalitis virus. And what that disease results or is caused by is inflammation in the brain and spinal cord that the virus itself causes.
So how do they get this virus? Where does that come from?
The virus is transmitted by a mosquito bite. So there are infected mosquitoes endemic in our area as well as South Carolina and Florida, so areas east of the Mississippi River, that carry this virus. And the virus is maintained between a cycle of mosquito and bird transmission. And then occasionally an infected mosquito bites a horse and can transmit that virus to a horse.
So it sounds like that might be something more prevalent in areas like this with mosquitoes, and also does it vary by time of year or the nature of the year?
Absolutely. So the prevalence of the disease is definitely based on the mosquito population, and that's certainly something that fluctuates with time of year, all dependent upon temperature and the wetness conditions and then geography of the region. So high wetland areas are going to have higher mosquito breeding sites and therefore higher mosquito populations. So in our geographic area, the peak season for occurrence of Eastern Equine Encephalitis is summer into early fall, which coincides, of course, with peak mosquito activity and population size. Luckily, there's a vaccination against Eastern Equine Encephalitis virus that is extremely effective. at preventing this disease in horses. So vaccination is by far the most important and most emphasized tool for preventing this disease. Vaccination needs to be followed on a biannual basis. So adult horses that have never received a vaccine need to get an initial vaccine followed 4 weeks later by a booster. And then in our geographic region, it's recommended that they get biannual boosters after that. So one in late spring and then one again 6 months later. That's probably going to be early fall. This gives horses the most protection, the most immunity during the highest risk season. But horse owners can do other things. They can decrease mosquito populations around their farms by controlling standing water, help decrease their horses' exposure to mosquitoes by bringing them in from pasture during peak mosquito activity, so dusk, and also placing horses under fans. The moving air prevent mosquito landings, and then obviously also insect repellent products that we typically use for horses for both flies, biting flies, and mosquitoes.
Okay. And there's some concern about the disease in people. Can they get it from horses, or what does it mean for people taking care of horses and for others that may be in the area?
That's a really important point. Horses do not transmit disease to people, and people do not transmit disease to horses. People can get this disease. This virus can infect humans, but it also comes from the bite of an infected mosquito. The occurrence in people is extremely rare, but it's very emphasized because of the severity of signs and the high mortality rate in people as in horses. So it's very important for people to also follow these preventative measures to decrease their exposure to mosquitoes, especially during these peak season. And monitoring the disease in horses is very important from a public health perspective because it gives some indication of where the virus is most prevalent in the mosquito populations in the state. For this reason, the disease is reportable, and any disease that occurs in horses, it's required by law that it be reported to the state veterinarian.
And just a final question, which parts of North Carolina are we seeing most disease in?
So this season, there have been 7 reported cases of Eastern Equine Encephalitis in North Carolina, and the counties that have seen disease so far have been Pender, Brunswick, and Cumberland counties. And this is very consistent with where we normally see reports of Eastern Equine Encephalitis cases in horses, our southeastern counties. But it's still important to do preventative vaccination throughout the state because historically we have seen this disease distributed from east to west. A horse that's bitten by an infected mosquito may initially experience signs that are indicative of fever, so some depression, loss of appetite, and lethargy. That may occur anytime within 1 to 3 days after being bitten by the infected mosquito. 3 to 5 days after the mosquito bite, horses may start to exhibit more specific neurologic signs. This can include more advanced depression, abnormal gait, so staggering, head pressing, circling. They can have trouble swallowing. There may be loss of vision or vision impairment. The disease can even progress to paralysis, recumbency, seizure, followed by death. So this is a very potentially severe disease with significant concerns. And any of these signs are a reason to contact your veterinarian right away in order for additional diagnostics to be performed. Considering the severity of the disease, again, the most important preventative measure we can take is vaccination. Vaccinations should be given to horses twice a year in the early spring and then again in late summer or early fall. Along with vaccination for Eastern Equine Encephalitis, horses should also receive West Nile virus vaccination. another mosquito-borne disease in our area. Vaccines should be given intramuscularly. And again, should be given on the recommended regimen of twice annual boosters.
Summer's a time for fun, and nobody appreciates summer like our kids. So we took some time and we learned about summer camps for kids. Right after the break, we're going to see what happens in a 4-H kids camp in Greene County.
As Miss Rodeo Virginia 2012, I had the opportunity to travel the country riding on many different horses and in many different saddles. But nothing compared to coming home and riding in uniquely my world-class saddlery saddle. From its unique dog flower tooling to the custom stirrups made just for me, the saddle fits me and my horses perfectly. So whether I'm out running barrels or in a parade, the saddle is both durable and beautiful. It can get the job done and still look good while doing it. I look forward to riding in my world-class saddlery for many years to come.
With me this afternoon is Emily Hardy. Emily is part of the Greene County Cooperative Extension Agent, and she runs the 4-H program in Greene County. We recently visited a summer camp that Emily hosted, but before we get into that, can you tell me a little bit about the 4-H program in general?
I can. 4-H stands for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health, and it is a youth organization. It is one of the largest youth organizations in the country. It is based in every county. Our strengths are probably just in citizenship, trying to play a big role in community involvement, being a good community individual, getting involved is probably my biggest attribute right now that I'm trying to encourage. And then from that, from being a good citizen, could go one way. You know, you could help the animal shelter or go for the community garden or go one way or the other.
Now tell me about your equine program.
My equine program is up and growing, I hope. I'm working on that. This summer we had put together, with the help of Lindsay Harper, a summer camp based on horses and horse knowledge in Stansburg, and we had a great time.
I was a speaker at that. That was so much fun.
It was.
I've never been to one.
I probably look forward to that camp. It's probably my favorite camp. I love the horse camp.
The day that we were there, they did the most fun thing with painting the horses. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about what we did?
I can. The camp started off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we started off with just basic safety. Safety is real important around horses. Some basic rules, kind of an overview of what we're going to do. We also talked about equipment. We talked about facial markings and foot markings on horses. We talked about different tack used on horses, you know, English versus Western. And
different jobs within the equine industry.
Right, we talked about different jobs. We tried to give them an educational portion to it, and then we got into the fun, competitive part with, like, you know, painting horses is always a fun treat. I kind of wish, in a way, we didn't give them paintbrushes and said you have to go, you know, all out with your fingers and see how they would have liked that. So we painted up, we broke them up in 2 teams, and one group did a fabulous job. Seemed very organized with the leadership of Lindsay, with the, I believe theirs was the Patriotic Pony, and it was beautiful. And then my group was...
It was more artsy.
Yes, it was very artsy. Each kid did their own thing, and then we figured out what we were going to name it. So at the end, and I was like, we can just call it, because he had fireworks and ribbon and
paw prints.
Yes, paw prints. And I think the paw prints kind of helped me. I was like, it's a party animal.
Right.
Just say that.
Right.
It works.
So much fun.
Yes, it was a blast. I truly enjoy that.
Now, if people want to get in touch with you to get their kids enrolled in your program, how can they contact you directly?
They can contact me at any time. They can contact me at 252-747-5831, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. If I'm not there, just leave a message and I'll definitely call you back. Or my email, emily_herring@ncsu.edu. Or they can look us up on the website, Greene County Cooperative Extension, and under 4-H Youth Development, you'll find all of my stuff, all of my forms, flyers, activities that's going on, and deadlines. They can get enrolled in 4-H year-round. We won't ever turn anybody away, so we're always looking for more people, more youth, and more volunteers to join our program.
Those kids in Greene County had a lot of fun that day painting those horses. There are all kinds of summer camps available for your kids regardless of what level with their horsemanship that they're involved in. We're going to visit a summer camp now in Wade, North Carolina. That's actually a week-long summer camp, and your kids get to go to this camp and they get 100% hands-on. They learn how to feed the horse, how to tack him up, and how to ride him. So stay tuned after the break and we'll take a peek at what those kids are learning. Nice. Very, very nice. All right.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to St. Andrews University in Laurinburg, North Carolina. My name is Carla Wenberg and I'm an instructor and coach here. I'd like to invite you to 300 acres of a world-class equestrian facility. We have a dedicated group of instructors that come from the horse industry. They are award-winning in their own right, that teach private and group lessons. We house about 100 to 130 head of horses during the school year, and we have about 170 students that take our equestrian classes. We'd like for you to come visit our facility.
The North Carolina Horse Council was established in 1972. We are a nonprofit organization that puts every dollar received back into supporting and working for our members. We are a volunteer organization that is supported by people just like you, with passion and energy.
Hi, I'm Sue Gray, Executive Director of the North Carolina Horse Council, and I'd like to share with you today a few reasons of why I would like you to join us. We are your voice. We work on rules and regulations that help you use and enjoy your horses each and every day. There's power in numbers. We have over 306,000 horses in North Carolina, making us 8th in the nation. We also have over 53,000 households owning horses with multiple owners within those households. And we are a $2 billion industry adding to the economics of the state of North Carolina. Power in numbers. We ask you that we can go and help to protect those privileges as we move forward. But we do more than that. We also do grants and we help to preserve land and protect our trails, and we support youth groups and other equine associations throughout the state.
We welcome you to join us and be part of the largest and most active horse council in America.
Wade, North Carolina at the Hidden Acres Horse Farm, where Claudia puts on a series of summer camps every year. And as you can see behind us, the kids have a ball. Can you tell us a little bit about your summer camp program?
Yes, we have 3 camps usually in the summertime. We have 2 beginner camps and 1 intermediate camp. The group that you see behind us, of course, is the intermediates, and they are able to walk, trot, and canter. The beginner camps are usually children that come in that have never ridden before, and so we take them from day 1 of not knowing anything about the horse through Monday through Friday, and by Friday they are just really looking good. A lot of them can even canter by Friday. So it's really, I think we've done a really good job with the program as far as developing the different steps to get them through to that point.
And I remember you were telling me about some of the games that they play, and that sounded like so much fun. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the activities?
Right. The first couple of days of camp, of course, we emphasize safety, and we teach them how to do that one rein stop. But in order for them to really appreciate all of that, the best way to do it is through games. And so we start playing games like musical stalls. We do red light, green light. We do cone relay. We do games with the pool noodles where they have to hold on to them and do teamwork games. We do musical buddies where they have to get on and off, and teamwork of getting themselves on and off their horse with their buddy. So not only does it develop skills, but it develops teamwork, and they have a blast doing it. And they don't even know that they're learning, but by the end of the week they've learned so many things just from playing all the games.
It sounds like so much fun. It sounds like they get a lot of hands-on activity and experience, so they get the horses themselves and saddle them and do all the fun stuff with that too?
Yes, I have a good group of kids that come in over the summertime, interns, and then just usually the intermediates are the one that helps with the beginner camps, and I assign one teenager to 2 campers, and they're responsible for working together as a team again, and they go out, get their horses in, they work together to get them saddled, bridled, and bring them into the arena in a safe fashion. And those kids are the ones that really help put this all together and make it flow.
I'm sure that you see an amazing amount of growth in the kids as they progress during the 5 days that they're here. You know, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, like I said, they start out on day 1 learning how to do that one rein stop, of course, and how to get their horse to go. And some of them are a little intimidated, but just teaching them that confidence level, and that being the #1 thing. Once they know how that they can stop their horse and they can make their horse go, and then getting them in there and playing those games, by the end of the week their confidence level it's just amazing to see what they can do. Because like I said, most of them have never ridden, but by Friday they can canter around this arena and they know that they can do it, and the look on their face is just it's just awesome to see how they develop.
And those are such great skills, the teamwork and the confidence building stuff to carry throughout the rest of their life.
Yes.
And then their families come on Friday, and then they have a little show that they put on for their graduation. Is that right?
Definitely. That Friday afternoon we all get together, usually for a couple of hours, and we go over everything that the kids have learned through the whole week. We start off again with that one rein stop, and we show them everything that they have done and what they have learned, and we finish up with that walk, trot, and canter, and the parents are here. They get to see everything that they've done. The kids get to introduce their horse to their mom and dad or their grandparent that's here, and grandparents get to see them untack and clean the horse up and put the horse away, and they're just amazed at the confidence level that child has developed over that week just working with the horses.
I'm sure, in the maturity level, I'm sure that must just be an amazing thing to accomplish.
And it's something that'll be with them the rest of their lives.
Definitely. It sounds like so much fun. I can imagine you probably have a waiting list. How can people get in touch with you to get involved with one of your next sessions?
Well, they can just give us a call. I mean, my numbers are on Facebook, Claudia McCulley, or Hidden Acres Horse Farm, and we also have a website, which is hiddenacresHorsefarm.com, and they can notify us that way and just let us know, you know, they'd like to come out. We have private lessons as well. We have group lessons, and that usually gets the kids started, because a lot of my students that come and do riding lessons also come and do the camps, but they can contact us and find out, you know, what are we doing throughout the year, what programs we have, because I try to put on trail rides for the kids, little group get-togethers like this, so that they can, you know, learn when we're not actually doing the camps. We also have other programs throughout the year that the youth can get involved in order to get them into, you know, working with horses, being around horses. If that's what they want to do, we're definitely there to help develop that interest and skill.
And the kids don't need to own a horse. You provide all of that for them, so that's really nice.
No, they don't have to have a horse. I have a great string of horses out in the back. Most of the horses that are here right now are my horses, and have saddles, so they can just come in. I got the helmet and everything. They just come in and say, I want to ride, and we'll get them on the back of a horse in no time and get them riding.
That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us today. And folks, remember, if you want something fun for your kids to do over the summer or maybe during one of the school holidays, hiddenacreshorsefarm.com. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, Rosa. Appreciate it.
My next guest is Paige Dorman, and she is from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And Paige has been coming to Claudia's camps for a while now. So Paige, tell us what and all you've learned here at camp.
I've learned a lot, actually. Most of the stuff I've actually learned on Diamond here. He's ever since I've been here. He's been here ever since I've been here, and I like learned a lot of stuff on him, and she's taught me how to teach a horse how to side pass, and she's really been helping me on how to train babies, because I'm getting a baby really soon, and I've been learning how to train babies and stuff, and learned how to make a horse, not make a horse, but let them trust you, and stuff, and yeah.
And so you help Claudia with the beginner camps kids too, don't you? And how is that? Do you like that?
I like it a lot. It gives me experience on how to train. Like if somebody wants to learn how to do something, I know how to help them if they're young, and then because they're little kids, but then if there's somebody older, like in the camp, then I know how to help them too. I know how to explain it differently.
Right. Very good. And so what do you do other than the camp? Do you show your horses?
Yes, I show Western Pleasure, English, and I jump.
All right. And how high have you jumped?
4 foot.
That's amazing. That is incredible. Well, you must have learned a lot from Claudia to be able to jump 4 feet.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fabulous. And do you have horses of your own?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind do you have?
I have Arabians, I have quarter horses, I have an Appaloosa, and I have 2 miniatures.
And what do you want to do when you grow up?
Probably a professional horse trainer.
All right, well, it sounds like you're well on your way, ma'am. Our next guest is Thomas Shea, and Thomas is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he's been coming to camp here for how long?
2 years.
2 years now? So Thomas has gotten to be a pretty accomplished rider as well. So tell me a little bit about what you've done while you've been at camp.
I've learned how to use different types of bits and reins, and first I learned how to canter, because when I got here I didn't know how to canter. Quit. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so you help Claudia with the younger kids when they're here for camp too?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've had a lot of experience with some team building skills and those kind of things. Where do you go to school?
I go to Massey Hill.
And you'll be in what grade?
I'll be in the 11th grade.
That's fantastic. So Thomas was telling me that he's very interested in mounted shooting.
Yes, ma'am.
So have you done that yet?
No, I've shot on the ground with my horse.
Okay, and is he fairly good with the gun shooting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what kind of horse do you own?
I own a quarter horse.
Okay, that's nice. So what are you doing here today? You guys are just doing some fun exercises
We're doing some fun exercises, playing some games, and early we're doing side passing.
All right, can you side pass on this boy?
Yes. All right.
Show us a little bit. Nice, very, very nice. All right, looks like Claudia's lessons have done you well.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time today, Thomas, and good luck in the future with your horse career. I hope you'll tune in next week when we travel to Raleigh to the Hunt Horse Complex and we visit the Double L Bar Shooters. They're a cowboy mounted shooting group, and they did a special show with a fundraising tribute to America's Wounded Warrior Project. So it's going to be filled with excitement as the cowboys come thundering by us and they're shooting out the balloons with their 6 guns and their shotguns, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So listen real careful and you'll hear the sound of Carolina Hoofbeats.
This episode of Carolina Hoofbeats TV was made possible in part by funding received from the North Carolina Horse Council, a North Carolina nonprofit corporation dedicated to representing and furthering the common interest of the entire equine industry in all 100 counties of North Carolina. Carolina Hoofbeats is brought to you in part by Newcomb Quarter Horses. Newcomb Quarter Horses with over 40 years experience. Find out how we can help you today. NewcombQuarterHorses.net. And by World Class Saddlery. Custom saddles, repairs, custom tack, and personal leather items. Find out more at worldclasssaddlery.com. And also by Carolina Hoofbeats Magazine, a free publication about the horse industry in North Carolina. Catch up on the latest issue at carolinahoofbeats.com.
Saddle, nothing else matters. My feet in the stirrups, I'm so happy. There's nothing like the sound of Carolina Hoofbeats. Sitting high in the saddle, nothing else matters. my feet in the stirrups, I'm so happy. There's nothing like the sound